Welcome to the Illuminating Primary Care podcast.
Hi everyone, this is Kirsty at Menlo Park. I hope you're doing really well, and I just wanted to record a quick podcast to really say Happy New Year from myself and from the rest of the team at Menlo Park Recruitment. Happy New Year. I know many people, myself included, that had an incredibly challenging 2024, both professionally and personally. So I wanted to take the opportunity to welcome you into the new year. I find a new year incredibly invigorating when it comes to thinking about who you are now, what you want to achieve, and the steps to get there. And I find the new year a very motivating time to make things happen and to get some motivation behind your goals. So my first little message is to the GP partners, to the managing partners, to practice managers, operations and HR managers, practice managers. I'd love to wish you a happy new year, and I'd also like to invite you to reflect on 2024 and firstly reflect on all of the positives from 24. There were some positives for sure. So it might be any awards that people won or any awards that practices won. There are a number of awards ceremonies throughout the year, and Menlo Park have our own awards and acknowledgement for people and practices who go above and beyond, called Primary Care Stars. So I wanted to invite you to celebrate that success and acknowledge yourselves for a job well done. I'd also like to invite you to acknowledge any other success that you've had within the practice. So it might be that you've appointed clinicians or appointed receptionists or administrators, and you've gained some much needed stability in the practice that has in turn helped you to gain stability in process, gain stability in the patient journey, and therefore that has a huge knock-on effect and a huge positive impact on the patients that you're treating on a daily basis. It might be that you acknowledge yourselves for launching a new service for your patients that's been a roaring success. I'm sure it doesn't go unnoticed, and I'm sure your patients really appreciate your help and support and ingenuity. So I just wanted to invite you to acknowledge yourselves and store all of these positive actions and positive achievements to memory, and don't let them go unnoticed and forgotten and swept under the carpet. We've got to allow ourselves to feel good rather, for a job well done. So well done to the general practices. And my next little message goes to all of the GPs in the UK. Happy New Year to you all. And in fact, I'm going to step back a little bit and I'm going to invite all of the practices to reflect on all of the things that perhaps didn't go as well. Sorry for jumping around in this podcast. I think reflecting on the things that didn't go so well is also important, not to store things to memory, not to beat ourselves up and not to feel guilty, but just to purely take the rich experience that the things that don't go well gives in order to learn and grow for the next time you do something similar. So it might be a pilot that you trialed that didn't perhaps go as well as you thought it would. It's such a powerful exercise to look at what you could have done differently and apply or do differently into when you next apply a new process or you're trialing a pilot. Without the things that don't go well, we really cap our growth and really cap our learning and cap how we develop in ourselves and as a practice as well. So I invite you to reflect on the do differentlys as well. And I'd also love to invite you to look at 2025 and consider where you are as a practice right now, and consider where you would love to be as a practice at the end of this year. Where are the major gaps? What can you improve? What is it that you can focus your attention on in order to make your practice better than it's ever been by the end of 2025? If it is anything to do with your clinical team, you need to really bolster it, strengthen it. If you've got partners who are retiring and they are exceptionally good, how can you bolster the stability of the team by appointing someone who is equally as good as the people who are exiting the business? If we can help you out at all at Menlo Park, then please do give us a call and we'll be happy to throw some ideas around, discuss and help you come to a decision as to what you need moving forwards. Thank you. And my next message is to the GPs across the UK at the moment. I think a number of GPs have found it incredibly difficult, particularly if they have been looking for work. There have been far less jobs and far more GPs looking for jobs, which gives a very false reflection of how things are in the UK at the moment. We are still GP short, but the job market does not reflect that, and it's very confusing and very frustrating for a lot of people, particularly the newly qualified GPs who have spent 10 years training, 10 years working hard in order to get their qualifications, and then have struggled to find work, be it salaried or locum. And I just wanted to fully empathise and acknowledge those individuals and say, yes, it has been incredibly hard. And we're all hoping at Menlo Park that funding does get directed into primary care, into the practices directly, so that they are empowered to make decisions as to the best clinical teams that they need to serve their patients, and that will create more jobs and redress the balance again. Again, we are more than happy to support and work with you and help you to find work if you haven't found work and you've qualified very recently. Because the market is very different at the moment, I think GPs are having to approach interviews very differently. In fact, the word interview didn't really come up in conversations when GPs were visiting practices about a job just 12 months ago, but now an interview is wholly expected. And for that reason, there's perhaps a higher expectation on GPs to do their research, to think of powerful questions to ask so that they understand the practice, they understand the clinical workload, they understand the culture of the business and the team, and also understand what their future might look like. Preparation is key. It might not be that you understand every single question that's going to be asked, or you can't plan for every single question that might be asked, but if you prepare for any eventuality when you go and visit a practice, be it a very casual, low-key conversation, two-way conversation, or whether it is a more kind of formal interview, prepare for any eventuality is the best advice that I could give. And also find out as much as possible about the practice, about the role, about the team, about the expectation, so that there are no surprises should you accept a role. If you need to discuss anything or you want some advice, then please do feel free to pick up the phone and speak to us. We all cover different regions, so we've got specialist knowledge in that particular region. We can help you secure something for yourself in order to make 2025 successful. So this is my Happy New Year message for 2025. I have to say, I feel very vulnerable doing this podcast today. I have to say, I had forgotten to do this, and I've just been sent a reminder by our marketing team to send this over. So I'd actually forgotten. As such, no makeup, hair scraped back, just taking the dog for a walk. But I was really keen to jump on this podcast and send this message out to you. We're here to help, and if we don't speak, I wish you every success in 2025, and celebrate the wins, reflect on the things that you can do differently, and make 2025 amazing. Thank you so much, and enjoy your weekend.